right, so get this. We've got a deep dive today that's, well, it's straight out of a sci-fi thriller almost.
Okay.
We're talking about John Smith.
Okay.
This astronaut who supposedly disappeared in space back in the 1970s, only to reappear decades later.
Decades, wow.
Yeah, decades.
It sounds unbelievable, I know. But there's this, intriguing blend of like Cold War history, real space programs, and these strange occurrences that just, make you wonder, what if?
Right.
It's fascinating.
So, okay, let's unpack this a little bit. So John Smith starts out, seemingly pretty normal. Born in 41, military family, graduates from the Air Force Academy, even serves as a pilot in Vietnam.
Wow.
But his real goal, to become an astronaut.
Okay.
And he does, he gets in.
Right.
But to a super secret program called Cleaner.
Cleaner. Yeah. Such an intriguing name, especially in the context of like the Cold War space race, right?
Right.
The US and the Soviet Union were in this, constant battle for dominance.
Yeah.
Each trying to one up the other with technology and military might,
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was a crazy time.
And that's where these anti-satellite programs come in, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't just about launching satellites anymore. It was about like figuring out how to destroy the other guy's satellite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Programs like Nike Zeus and PGM-17 Thor.
Right.
These were specifically designed to target and destroy enemy satellites, even using high-altitude nuclear explosions.
Wow.
It was a dangerous game, very dangerous, shrouded in secrecy.
Yeah, for sure.
Very, very hush-hush.
So imagine this. It's October 1970.
Okay.
And John Smith is on this supposed Cleaner mission. Right. The goal, was to test this idea of having astronauts in these like armed capsules, ready to take out enemy missiles in space.
So like orbital warfare?
Yeah, like orbital warfare. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's a chilling thought, isn't it? To have like weapons platforms, just floating above us.
Yeah.
Ready to strike.
Ready to go. Yeah.
It's a concept that like blurs the lines between, science fiction.
Oh yeah.
And a very real and a very tense historical period.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating.
So Smith's mission is, going as planned.
Okay.
For about 3 days.
Okay.
And then his capsule runs into this zone of like super high radiation.
Oh wow.
And, systems go haywire, communication gets all garbled, and then nothing.
Wow.
Silence.
So John Smith is
gone. Vanished.
And that's where things get, I think, even more suspicious.
Right.
The mission is immediately classified as, top secret.
Yeah.
Records are supposedly destroyed. Anyone involved is threatened into silence.
Wow.
Like, if this was just a routine mission gone wrong, why the extreme cover-up?
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't add up.
It's like they wanted to erase the whole thing from like history.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
And then fast forward to the year 2000.
Okay.
This amateur astronomer, he's looking through his telescope right now.
Yeah.
Spots something weird heading towards Earth.
Oh, wow.
And guess what?
What?
It's Smith's capsule.
Talk about a needle in a cosmic haystack, right?
I don't know.
It's incredible that an amateur astronomer was the one to speed it. And it's amazing.
Out of everybody, right?
Yeah.
So in 2001, the Space Shuttle Endeavour goes and retrieves the capsule.
Okay.
And here's the kicker, right?
Yeah.
They find John Smith inside.
Wow.
Alive?
Alive.
But in some sort of like suspended state.
That defies logic, I mean. 30 years in space without any life support.
Without anything, yeah.
How is that even remotely possible?
I know.
It's mind-boggling.
It's baffling. But wait, there's more.
Okay, there's more.
Right. So doctors are examining Smith.
Yeah.
And they make a bunch of strange discoveries.
What kind of strange discoveries?
So his heart, which was known to be on the right side of his chest, is now in the normal position, on the left.
What?
Yeah.
So it switched sides.
Yeah. A childhood rib fracture.
Yeah.
Gone.
Wow.
Some scars. Missing. And he's got this notebook filled with pages ripped out. The rest of it's covered in these symbols nobody can understand.
It's like his body has been like reset somehow.
I know. It's like, what?
Healed.
Yeah.
the missing scars, their repositioned heart, those aren't things that just happen naturally.
No.
Something happened to him.
Right, and then get this, Smith wakes up.
Oh, wow, okay.
But there's the catch.
A catch?
He has zero memory of those missing 30 years.
Oh, wow, so he doesn't remember anything.
Nothing. And then a few days later, there's a fire alarm at the NASA facility where they're holding him.
Okay.
False alarm.
Okay.
But in all the confusion,
yeah,
John Smith disappears. Again.
Poof.
Gone. It's like he stepped out of reality itself.
I know. So what are we supposed to make of all this?
I don't know. It's incredible.
Is this guy a time traveler?
Right.
An alien abductee?
Yeah.
A government experiment gone wrong?
I mean, it's a tangled web of speculation, that's for sure.
I know. It's crazy. So it's like somebody took this real historical event,
yeah,
injected it with a dose of, like, the X-Files, and then just hit shuffle.
Yeah, right.
But, okay, let's put on our skeptic hats for a minute here.
Okay.
What actual evidence do we have?
Well, there's that NASA ID card.
Yeah.
With John Smith's name on it.
Right.
Supposedly from the 1970s.
But, honestly, forging something like that wouldn't have been that difficult.
Right.
Even back then.
Yeah.
It's a small piece of the puzzle, but not exactly conclusive proof.
Right. Anyone with a decent laminator and, like, a steady hand could whip that up.
Exactly.
But what about the fact that these anti-satellite programs, like, they actually existed?
Right.
That lends some weight to the overall story, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, to a certain extent.
Okay.
I mean, those programs, like Nike Zeus, they were very real.
Yeah.
And, they highlight the Cold War's, like, obsession with finding ways to, neutralize each other's space capabilities. It shows that the framework of Smith's story, it isn't entirely outlandish.
Right.
But the cleaner program itself, that's where we hit a wall.
Right.
There's no official record, no confirmation, no whistleblowers, nothing.
So we're stuck in this weird limbo.
Right.
Where some parts of the story line up with reality, and others, well, they're just begging for an explanation.
Right. It's like catnip for conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
and the theories, I mean, they run the gamut, right?
Oh, yeah.
Some people think Smith stumbled into some kind of temporal anomaly, a wrinkle in space-time that sent him hurtling into the future.
It's possible.
Others believe he was abducted by aliens,
right,
experimented on, and then returned with his memories wiped.
Yeah, the classic alien abduction.
And then there are those who think the whole thing is a hoax.
Yeah.
Like a cleverly crafted fabrication
right,
designed to sow confusion or maybe even advance some hidden agenda.
It's a buffet of possibilities.
Right.
And honestly, none of them are entirely satisfying. We're left with this, like, tantalizing mystery that may never be fully solved.
Yeah. It's frustrating, but it's kind of exciting at the same time, right?
I know, it is.
It makes you realize how much we still don't know about the universe. And our place in it.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes it so compelling.
Right.
It's not just about John Smith, the astronaut.
Yeah.
It's about the possibility of the impossible,
Yeah.
It's about those things that lurk just beyond the edges of our knowledge.
Right.
Waiting to be discovered.
Right.
Or maybe, intentionally kept hidden.
Well, that's a pretty profound thought for a Tuesday afternoon.
I know, right?
But before we completely descend into an existential spiral, let's bring it back to you, the listener. So what if, like this whole John Smith story, what if it's true? I mean, really, really think about that for a second.
Yeah.
What does that say about, the lengths that governments might go to during, times like the Cold War, right?
Yeah.
And what could have possibly happened to this guy in those missing decades? It's
a rabbit hole of questions, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we take the story at face value, we're forced to consider some pretty unsettling possibilities.
Yeah.
Secret programs operating beyond any oversight, technologies we can, like, barely comprehend.
Yeah.
Maybe even encounters with, things beyond our current understanding of science.
Right.
It really makes you wonder, like, what else might be hidden in the shadows?
It's almost like John Smith becomes this symbol of the unknown, right? He represents all the secrets and mysteries that are out there, just waiting to be uncovered.
Yeah.
Or maybe intentionally kept hidden.
Exactly. And that's something that continues to fascinate us, even decades after his supposed return.
Right.
We crave answers, explanations.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think the mystery itself is more compelling.
I think you're right. Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
The John Smith story.
It's a wild one.
A tale of space travel, Cold War intrigue, unexplained phenomena, and a whole lot of question marks.
A lot of question marks.
It's a story that pushes the boundaries of, what we think we know about the world.
Yeah.
And it leaves us pondering the vastness of the unknown.
And perhaps that's the most valuable takeaway of all,
right.
to be reminded that there's still so much out there that we don't understand, so much to explore, so much to discover.
Absolutely. So until next time, keep looking up at the stars. And keep those minds curious.
Always curious.
You never know what mysteries might be lurking out there, just waiting to be unraveled.